Hello, it is Tuesday, August 18th, 2020, and I am jumping into the deep end of the pool this morning by making this video. Every morning I get quiet and I think things pop into my head, and sometimes I write them down, but today for some reason I felt moved to make a video. So here it is. This is my first one. I may do more. This may be the only one. But I feel so much love in my heart. And it's funny, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, I have so much love in my heart. I like this look on my but anyway, this is true for me. I know, right? We're in a crazy time right now. And there's so many uncertain things and so many things to be upset about, things that we've never experienced. I'm in my 60s, so there's things that I've never seen before. Even with the riots in the 60s, they weren't like this. There's so many people who have so much emotion coming up, and they are expressing it the way they know how. And but it's kind of it's difficult to keep optimistic and sane in these kind of times. I feel very optimistic, and I can't claim sanity because who knows. But so there was something very specific that came to me today, and that was the idea that a large part of what we see and experience right now has to do with people judging and evaluating each other. And the problem with that is that when you decide how other people should be acting and what other people should be doing, you limit them for sure with that idea, that thought and idea. That goes out there. That's out there. Okay? And so now you've just created a prison for them, a mental prison, where you've decided who they are and what they're doing. And sometimes it's just a flash. Like we get all these videos on Facebook or wherever in the heck. They pop up everywhere. And it's always a very lopsided perspective of somebody else's, seemingly crazy behavior. And that you make a judgment, instant judgment on the person. And that's one of the problems with doing that. That's one of the problems, is that you've decided who this person is, and you've decided, and you've dismissed him. You dismiss this whole person just like that. Boom. Okay. And we do that with instantly all the time. And we also are bombarded with people that we see every day that on the news, and they're this, they're that, or Biden, and Trump, right? Okay. So, but the deal is that this deciding that you think you know who people are is, in an outside perspective, that's limiting that person. And then from now on, you've decided who they are and what they're going to be doing all the time. And you slam the door on any possibility of something great coming out of a relationship with a person. But you also, what you may not know, what you may not realize, is that it's limiting you. It's completely limiting you. So when you shut the door on other people, You just slammed the door on yourself. And you are limiting all of your potential to these snap judgments, because you're going to judge the way you judge other people. You're judging yourself. And if you pay attention, you'll start to notice that. You're judging yourself all the time. When you judge yourself, it totally limits you. So right now, everything is so up in the air and everything is so different and weird, and nobody knows how to get out of it. If you'll notice, nobody knows how to get out of it. People might know a piece of this or a piece of that, but you get out of it by getting out of your limiting ideas. These old ideas that we grew up with. I grew up in Texas. Racist underscore. And I apologize if my Texas friends or family get upset, but it is. I mean, my grandfather was, in this and in that, and he had a slur for every race you could imagine. He was there. That's how I grew up. And it hurt me. It hurt me because my best friend was Hispanic when I was in elementary school. And I loved Becky. She was fabulous. And then here's my grandfather, rare. But so that's the problem. That's the problem with all of this. And, I feel like we can't trust the media in India. I haven't seen anything that doesn't have a slant to it. And that also limits the possibility of everything else. So don't limit yourself. Don't do that. Be open for new ideas to come in, new ways to communicate, new ways to share yourself with other people that don't agree with you, that maybe don't think, well, of course they're not going to think like you do. You think, your way and people think their way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not possible for everybody to think the same thing. And don't think you know people. Don't think you know people. If you think you know somebody, I'll tell you, there's just no way. There's no way you're ever going to understand another person. You're seeing such a small part of them. And all of us are going through our stuff right now. It's like walking through mud every day, up to your knees, because we don't really understand what's going on. There's a lot of stuff to process every day. And we're looking for easy ways to just kind of put, well, it's this or it's that. And then we can move on and just dismiss things. But that's not what's called for now. What's called for now is for you to go above and beyond what your old way of facing the world is. And I'm telling you, if you think that you can know or understand another person, think about yourself. Do you know yourself? Do you know everything there is to know? Don't you surprise yourself sometimes? Like, haven't you ever had to step up to the plate and do something you'd never tried? Maybe you got a promotion in a job, and the night before you're supposed to start, and you're like sweating bullets because you're like, I hope I can do it. And you do. Or maybe when you were a kid, you were playing baseball, and the first time you hit a home run, or the first time you hit the ball at all, you never knew you could do that. Maybe you swung the bat like 8,000 times, and finally it hit. And you saw you could do something you never knew you could do. That's still in you. It's in all of us. But we limit it with all these easy answers to things. And in this way of hating each other, I get it that people feel marginalized and minimized. And that's a way to feel a little bit more like you're important, like you count. Because we don't feel like we count. We feel like our voices go out and disappear. But that's not true. There are people listening. Me, I listen to anybody who wants to talk to me. And it hurts when I hear them talking hatefully about other people or dismissively or judging. I feel hurt by it because I know there's no way you can know that person. Find some compassion and realize that if you're feeling a lack of compassion for other people, that means you have no compassion for yourself, that you feel like you don't deserve compassion either. And if you don't believe that's true, you just think about that today. When you hear yourself talking to yourself and you're judging somebody else, then you think about it. Stop and think about it. How are you feeling about yourself today? Are you telling yourself things like, oh, I should be this, or I should be that, I should be doing this, or why didn't I do that? Or maybe it's something you've done in the past comes back to you, well, why didn't I say the right thing, or whatever it is. I think that's all I have today. I keep getting these videos from people who, that friends and family, they send it on Facebook Messenger, these videos. And I'm like, I don't know how if anybody's talking about hate, if they talk about anything besides love, I can't relate to it. And why are you sending videos of other people? Send me a video of you. I want to know who you are, what you think, what you feel. That's what we've gotten lazy with that. We'd rather just like watch videos for an hour and send one out instead of sitting down for this is getting almost 12 minutes and telling me how you are, what you feel, what you think. How are you going to love today? What are you going to love today? Why do you love the things you do? Then maybe we'll get to know you a little bit better. And we'll know you at your best moment instead of your most difficult, when you're not actually behaving as you hope you would. You're not showing your best foot and putting your best foot forward. I know you can do that. I want to see it. Thanks.